And I'm ready, oh my God, have mercy, of course, to speak truth to power. In this segment, we normally don't like to criticize, but if we must criticize, then we will only criticize to build and not to destroy. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushudumo. And you can join us live on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Xylophone 102.1 FM. And also on YouTube Live, our YouTube page is Xylophone Media. And in both cases, Xylophone is spelled Z-Y-L-O-F-O-N. That is Z-Y-L-O-F-O-N. That is what it is. My brother, my sister, we are also transmitting live and broadcasting live aside social media. Also on Xylophone TV, we are live. My brother, my sister, I am most excited to deal with this situation. All right. Today, I'm starting with something from City Newsroom, and it's most important. It says, bust and covers adulteration of petroleum products at Kumasi Depot. And what is bust? B-O-S-T. I read. The Blakk Oil Storage and Transportation Company Limited, bust, B-O-T, says it has discovered the adulteration of petroleum products at its depot in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Bust in a statement said it made the discovery during its pre-discharge testing processes. As standard practice, products are tested to confirm their chemical composition before loading into trucks. Upon arrival at their destination, the same product testing is carried to ensure what was loaded onto the truck is what has been transported before discharge is permitted. During the pre-discharge testing of product aboard a BRV, it was discovered through the basic test that the chemical composition of the product and the destination differed from what was loaded on the truck. Bust made a call for confirmation testing, which proved that the result of the basic test was correct. The product aboard the truck was adulterated. All this long grammar that you heard is simple. That the bulk oil storage and transportation, these are the people who keep our oil. The oil, my brother, my sister, that is supposed to go into your car. The oil that is supposed to be used as fuel for so many different things. These are the people who store that and also transport that. My brother, my sister, now they have realized that there was one truck that carried adulterated oil. What that means is that it wasn't the right quality of oil. My brother, my sister, this is a government institution. Government controls this. How many times haven't we heard that some people have become so lazy and they don't do their work, all because they know that whether they work or not, at the end of the month they are paid. In some countries where you clock in anytime you arrive at work, where you would have to show evidence of work, in our country is the opposite. We neither clock in nor show any evidence of work. All that is done is that we wait at the end of the month, then we are given some good money. We continue like that, and it is the citizenry that suffers. How many of you remember that just last week there was some missing oil, some huge amount of oil that was missing from some of these people? And because of that, some people had to be suspended. Stealing is always going on, my brother, my sister. And when you check it out, it is all because we are not patriotic. We look at ourselves And all we want to do is to be rich. And it doesn't matter how we get rich, legal and illegal means. All we need to get is the money, no matter what. The churches that are supposed to be preaching virtues are today preaching prosperity through laziness. How many churches in Ghana do not preach prosperity? Show me any such church, and I can tell you the number of people who attend that church. Every church now is preaching prosperity. How you can make 1 billion out of 1 CD. How you can sleep all year round and still make money. My brother, my sister, even the proponent, even the man who brought your religion, the man you call Jesus Christ, preached hard work. Today, my brother, my sister, it's all about how rich I can get quickly, and it doesn't matter how. Church elders are thieves. We have armed robbers who are church elders. In some churches, we even have thieves as pastors. My brother, my sister, I keep saying this time and again, if we don't like such headlines, then patriotism must be preached. How many of the churches preach patriotism? There are even some churches and some faiths that do not allow you to recite the national anthem or the pledge. And such people are supposed to be called Ghanaians. They owe allegiance to heaven. If there was a national anthem of heaven, they will recite that. But once there's no national anthem of heaven, they will not recite any other national anthem because they do not owe any allegiance to the country they live in. Jehovah's Witnesses do not recite the national anthem. They do not recite the national pledge. And their faith is that they do not belong to this world. They belong to heaven. They will not swear any allegiance to any country and to anybody. They only swear an allegiance to God. My brother, my sister, how can people like this be seen to be patriotic? Of course, reciting the national anthem alone is not enough to say you are patriotic. There are people who can recite it 1 billion times a minute, yet they are the most unpatriotic people on earth. But the point I'm trying to make is that if the faith of Jehovah's Witnesses will tell you that, hey, we don't recite the national anthem and we don't owe any allegiance to any country and anybody, we only owe allegiance to God. What it means is that they say they do not go to war for any country. No. Because going to war to defend their country, they do not know who they are fighting. They might be killing other Jehovah's Witnesses. So for that reason, they won't go to war. Yes, they will pay taxes. And they will do what to them is right. But at the end of the day, remember that you are in a country that has laws. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. My brother, my sister, and give unto God what is God's. If you are not patriotic to your country, how can you help improve the country? You don't believe in the national anthem. You don't believe in the national pledge. How can you help the country grow? You are not part of defending the country. Police, they don't join. Soldier, they don't join. So they expose the country to attacks. Remember that you have to protect yourself. And when I hear Jehovah's Witnesses say that they believe in self-defense, then I come back and I ask again, my very good Jehovah's Witnesses people that I love so much, if you believe in self-defense, why do you not join the army? Why do you not join the police? It is also for self-defense. True or false? Today, if another country is coming to attack, it is not the citizenry that you will ask to go out and fight. It is those who have been trained, and these are the police and the soldier and some other such people. But you are not joining them. So you allow yourself, you open up yourself to unnecessary hatred and attack. True or false? Am I making sense? My brother, my sister, let us look beyond some of these things. Let us be able to say that yes, this is what the word of God says. But the same word of God gives us the brains to be able to maneuver around some of these things and make things happen. My brother, my sister, prostitution is not something that the Bible says is correct. But when that prostitute was going to be stoned to death, what did Christ say? The same Bible. He said, these people standing there, those of you without any sin, cast the first stone. Was it that he subscribed to prostitution? No, sir. My brother, my sister, let's think. The corruption in the country is too much. People are stealing night and day. Government workers do not respect the country. All they think about is the month to end, and they take their salaries. They find ways and means to cheat the government. They do not know that they are cheating themselves. Who is the government? It's you and I. So, boss, I'm not going to prolong this. We know that so many bad things that are happening with some of these people. Stealing of fuel. Night and the fuel that does not belong to you, it belongs to the state. They have a way of stealing it. Some ministers of state get free fuel. Free fuel. They also get free fuel for some of their family members and friends. How would the nation grow? Let's think about it, brethren. I leave it. Now, my brother, my sister, the president was in Serbia, right? It's no more news. And there they gave him an award. What was the award they gave him? The highest award of the land of Serbia. In Ghana, it will be the Order of the Volta. In Serbia, is it coincidence that we have a Serbian coach? And then all of a sudden, Serbia is giving an award to the president. Let me not preempt anything. But let's look at this. When the president went, what was it about? The NAM conference, right? Non-aligned movement. My brother, my sister, in the early 60s, we had the non-aligned movement. Kwame Nkrumah was one of the people who stood behind this. One of the docile energies of the non-aligned movement. Nkrumah spoke extensively about the non-aligned movement. Today, when Nana Akufo-Addo went to Serbia, all he could talk about was Kwame Nkrumah. How many of you listened to him? Kwame Nkrumah, our first president. Kwame Nkrumah. We have a long-standing relationship with Serbia. Who developed that relationship? Who followed on with that relationship? When Nkrumah was doing all these things, your ancestors were busily making bombs to bomb him because they said he was wasting time. They said he had inordinate ambition. Today you are busily going around taking awards because of Kwame Nkrumah. You see the point I'm making? You are trying to remove the 2 Ghana cedi note just because Nkrumah is on it, and you replace it with a coin. Maybe that coin would have the face of Edward Akufo-Addo on it. Maybe the face of J.B. Dankwa. At that time, Ghanaians would have woken up from their deep sleep. And then, nobody would need then to tell them that this is a government that is here, planted by enemies of Kwame Nkrumah to destroy the legacies of Kwame Nkrumah. I've spoken extensively on this, and I do not intend to talk more. But listen, you are implementing some of the ideas and policies of Kwame Nkrumah, yet you hate him so much. Industrialization. Nkrumah was the most industrialized African in his days. You are going around trying to build roads that Nkrumah built. Today we still have the original stones in there. They've stood the vagaries of the weather. They've stood tirelessly against the vicissitudes of the weather. They are still standing strong. Things Nkrumah did, you are copying some of them, one after the other, yet you hate the man so much. You do not want to give him the credit. Today you are in Serbia. There are so many streets in Serbia named after Kwame Nkrumah. If it's not a street, then it's a certain edifice. You go to China, it's the same thing. Romania, the same thing. Several African countries, it's all about Nkrumah. Are you so jealous that Kwame Nkrumah is making so much name? But he did not make his name on a silver platter. He worked hard for whatever he has left behind as his legacy. You gave him all sorts of names. When he was busily thinking about building the Akosombo Dam, busily thinking about building the motorway, busily industrializing, even President Kufuor had the guts to say that Nkrumah rushed us into industrialization. Can any responsible thinking human being say this? He rushed the country into industrialization, and the whole nation shut him down and said, the small name that you have, to you, don't spoil it. They've done everything possible to villainize Kwame Nkrumah. But Kwame Nkrumah will remain a hero. You know why? Because those that are with Nkrumah are stronger than those that are with them. A good man is different to bring down. My brother, my sister. So if today Nana Addo has flown again to Serbia in a private jet to go and collect awards, the highest award of the land, if I were him, I would be so ashamed, because the inventor, the author of that award is Kwame Nkrumah. And when you go to Serbia and you don't talk about Kwame Nkrumah, they will stone you. Why did Nana Addo not talk about JB Dankwa when he went to take that award? Why did he not talk about William whoever, Pa Willie, when he went over there? Why did he not talk about the so-called Big Six? But he rather talked about Nkrumah. Ghanaians, you see, we have to make things bare. They have made so many attempts to make Nkrumah a villain. They printed textbooks for schools to reinvent the wheel and called Nkrumah a dictator. Tried to force some other people into a kind of a clique called the Big Six. But the friends of Kwame Nkrumah have stood firm. In the days of Kwame Nkrumah, one man, he beat all the mafias. One man. He made all the mafias useless. All their bombs exploded into nothingness. Today, my brother, my sister, if Nana Addo went for that award in Serbia, salute Kwame Nkrumah. It's simple. I leave it, my brother, my sister. I'm going to tackle the next thing as quickly as I can. And, oh my God. There are so many things we need to look at today. And I need all of us. Ghanaians in New York are talking, and I need us to look at this. And this one was published on the 11th of October 2021 at 4:42 p.m. That was yesterday. And it says, protest in New York, California against anti-LGBT bill. That's Ghanaians in America are protesting against the bill. I read, Ghanaians and allies in New York and California today, October 11, organized a protest against the anti-LGBT bill set to be debated in Parliament. The protest, which saw rallies organized in Harlem, New York, and in Oakland, California, is calling for the scrapping of the anti-LGBT bill. The proposed promotion of proper human rights, human sexual rights, and Ghanaian family values bill will criminalize LGBTQI plus identities and allyship, imposing harsh sentences ranging from fines to forced conversion therapy and up to 10 years of 10 years imprisonment. I beg your pardon. The protest is the latest in a series of international protests organized by Ghanaians and allies abroad, calling on the country's parliament to drop the bill and urge the President Akufo-Addo to veto it if it passes. The conveners of the protest say the bill, if passed, will impede HIV and other health services for LGBTQI plus people. The bill would also require suspected LGBTQI people to recant their sexual and gender identities and pay for conversion therapy to avoid prison time. Ultimately, the law would torture and endanger the lives and health of LGBTQI Ghanaians. They added, if passed, the law would push Ghanaian LGBTQI plus community further into the shadows and increase incidents of violence. Okay, so Ghanaians out there are saying that the bill should not be passed, and that lesbians and gays and the LGBTQI plus family should be allowed their human rights to practice. My brother, my sister, these are Ghanaians, majority of who have seen Ghana to be hell, and they have run out of this country to go and live in another man's country. I'm not saying all of them, majority of them. How many Ghanaians get a visa to America and they jubilate? How many Ghanaians get a visa to America and they sell everything they have, never to return to this country? The only time we see them back in this country is when they die. Then we bring their bodies to Ghana to bury, because Ghana is a cemetery. How many Ghanaians have lived in America for 80 years? We never see them till they die. Then they send them to their hometown in Ghana to bury, because Ghana is only fit for dead bodies. How many Ghanaians who live abroad? My brother, my sister, think about Ghana at all. A lot of Ghanaians who are involved in this protest and all that, they only do it to save their faces. Some of them protest because they want to see Ghana become a better country so they can return. But how many of them truly want to return to this country? My brother, my sister, when you go to South Africa, out of every 10 South Africans, you ask them for a passport, 9 don't have. Generally, South Africans are satisfied with their country. They want to live there and they want to die there. That is why when they see you leaving your countries and going to their country, they don't understand. Why are they here? We don't go anywhere. We have made our country what we want it to be. So they start killing you. I am ashamed when I see Africans kill other Africans in xenophobic attacks. But at the same time, I learn a lesson that I need to brighten the corner where I am. How many people don't understand this? You allow your dirty leaders to destroy the country. And when the country is destroyed, you have no other option but to run out of this country and go to other countries who have put their leaders in check. You are a coward. If you don't force your leaders to sit on tenterhooks, tentacles, tenterfires, my brother, my sister, and you allow them to walk around like having a walk in the park with stupid policies, foolish ideas, mess up the country, it is you and your children who will be running to the American embassy for visas. It's you and your family who will be looking for visas to go to South Africa where you'll be killed in xenophobic attacks. I traveled to South Africa for 2 weeks. That's the maximum I've stayed in South Africa. To shoot music videos. I am an African. And I want to feel free to go to other African countries. To be able to feel the vibes of different Africans. But right now we all are scared. That you don't know what is waiting for you in another African country. Africa has become nothing but the bedrock of corruption. A continent that had kings and queens who laid down their lives to see a better Africa. Today, all of them are shaking in their graves, asking, did we die in vain? My brother, my sister, every country has its laws. If Ghanaians in America feel like, okay, they are in America and homosexuality and the rest might be seen as okay and human rights, remember that every country has its own human rights and its own ideas. I've said this time and again. You cannot bring American values and force them on Kenyan people. Neither can you take Kenyan values or the Kenyan definition of human rights and go all the way to England and force it on the people. Can you try it? Yet why is it that it's always Africa? Any idiot who has a stupid idea in some country wants to bring it here and force it on us. Their idea of democracy, my brother, my sister, is what we have swallowed hook, line, and sinker, and today we all are suffering. How many years did it take America, my brother, my sister, to accept democracy and practice it for? How many years has Ghana practiced democracy? Can you compare the number of years between Ghanaian democracy and American or English democracy? Yet, what took them 50 years to come to terms with? They want to force you to use 2 days to come to terms with that. True or false? My brother, you can't plant a seed today and expect it to grow today. It's not possible. Until the mid-1970s, homosexuality was a criminal offense in America and other places. Where were they? They had practiced democracy several decades, but still saw that homosexuality was a criminal offense until somewhere 1976. Mid-1970s. In Germany, my brother, my sister, homosexuals were taken to the hospital to be treated like sick people before the mid-1970s. Yet they had practiced democracy and human rights to the acme. I'm building a point, brethren. Africa has become, my brother, my sister, a receptive continent for bad goods. Africa has become a continent, a very receptive continent. My brother, my sister, better put, a dumping ground for everybody's values and vices. Hear me now. Why do you think that a lot of Europeans and Americans come to this country? They come here because a lot of them want to run away from their so-called draconian laws. Things that they can't do in America. A lot of them find Africa a safe haven for them to do those things. And I've given you examples. In America, if I have a girlfriend who sees me with another woman, we see it in the news. Your car windows will break. They will use sticks to break your head. They will set your house on fire. My brother, we don't see that in Africa. All she can do is to go attack the other woman. They insult each other and beat each other and go away. In America, my brother, my sister, in England, if a man has a wife and he's seen with another woman, all hell will break loose. And in my mind is that hockey guy, what's his name again? Tiger Woods. He was happily married, but probably he had eaten too much fufu and wanted to eat a little bit of jollof rice. And that little jollof rice that he tasted crushed his career to the ground. He and his wife had to separate. They shared his estate 50-50. Sponsors who supported him all along, all scattered and left the guy in the woods like the tiger that he is, wallowing around, perambulating, my brother, my sister, globe-trotting in the jungle, looking for a new prey. All because he was married and he found another woman delicious enough to eat. In Africa, if he was here, he could have married 4 women, 5 women, 10 women, 20 women, and not a single sponsor will budge, let alone move. True or false? My brother, depending on what you believe in, depending on what you see as your values, depending on what is your human right, my brother, my sister, you might find 1 or 2 things uncomfortable. But every country has that. My brother, my sister, look at the corruption happening amongst our people. A lot of them go scot-free. They could never have dreamt of doing this in America, even by the quarter. Each jurisdiction, my brother, my sister, takes time to be able to deal with things that other jurisdictions have taken 200 years to deal with. How old is the American democracy? Over 200 years. The Ghanaian democracy, my brother, only started in 1957. How many years? Nigerian democracy, how many years? And you want Nigeria to function the same way as America. We all decided to go and take the so-called democracy. At the time that we had kings and queens, we were the messiahs of the earth. Yet we abandoned all this and went after the white man's kitchen food. So we have eaten so much of the white man's food, like the Ghanaians in California, Ghanaians in Harlem, who are demonstrating on the street, and they want LGBT, whatever it is, to be legalized, and everybody should be free in Ghana to do whatever. They are not being reasonable. They are not being reasonable. How many years did it take the American democracy to accept homosexuality and lesbianism? I'm saying that until the mid-70s, homosexuality was a criminal offense. And in Germany, homosexuals were even taken to a hospital to be treated like crazy people, because it came out by research that homosexuals in those days were committing more suicide, and they had more tendencies to commit suicide than any other group of people. So the psychiatrists realized that homosexuality could be related to mental illness. 1973. So there was a hospital in Germany that was taking homosexuals and treating them like crazy people. Today in Ghana, Dr. Akwesi Sapon was, or I've forgotten his Kwesi something, at the mental health hospital there. He still holds it and believes that homosexuality is a mental illness. True or false? So when the West starts to feed a baby with solid food, when they were taking liquid food at the time that they were babies, I begin to say, what is happening? What is happening? It took you time to learn to walk. It took you time to learn to run. It took you time to learn to fly. Now you want us, today that we are born, we should fly. It's unfair. Much as we say this. Now when you read the story, it says that the bill says gays should go to jail for 10 years and all that. Well, some judge has made it clear. There's nowhere in the bill that says that. It's between 3 years and 5 years of a jail term. Wherever it is, my brother, my sister, I keep saying, every country and its laws. What I hate most is when one country plays holier than thou, wiser than thou, civilized than thou, and wants to civilize the uncivilized ones by forcing their laws and principles on them. That's where I have a problem. I don't know what you think. I've never been gay. I will never chase gays and beat them. I will never look at a gay and start looking down on the gay person. In some countries, they accept it. And another thing, listen, I've met some gays in the US. Some of them are better than the Malams we have in Ghana. Some of these gays are better than some of the archbishops and bishops of Ghana. You are an archbishop. Your church members walk from Kasua all the way to your church. All the way to your church. Several kilometers. You drive your limousine. You meet them on the way and go. And you still take tithes from them. Homosexuals are better than you. You are a malam. You have 4 wives. You have articulated tracks that carry cows from Mali to Ghana and Burkina Faso to sell. You have all the money, yet all your children are illiterates. You are rather whipping them to learn Arabic. They eat once a day, and even the food that they eat after the cocoa, there's no fish. Homosexuals are better than you. We have Malams who are thieves. We have archbishops who are nothing but armed robbers. So when you put a homosexual here and put this thieving archbishop or malam, I'll go for the homosexual. So what point am I making? Give everybody an opportunity to grow. That's all I'm saying. Give the countries the opportunity to grow. When the time comes and they want to accept some new values, naturally, they will gravitate towards those. Don't force them. Don't. It doesn't help anybody. I leave it here, my brother, my sister. Jesus have mercy. My brother, my sister, I'm going to deal with the next thing. And I need all of us to open our ears with rapt attention and check these things out. Yeah. What is happening? I'm reading this from Ghana Web, and it says, is promoting homophobic legislation the best way to thank Ghanaian voters? And this is Professor Jim Abuedi asking MPs. Who is he? Let's read. Professor Emmanuel Jim Abuedi says he feels disappointed in Parliament, especially with the 8 MPs who have drafted a private members bill titled The Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill 2021, which seeks to comprehensively outlaw activities of the LGBTQ plus community. According to the co-founder of Afrobarometer, Parliament has a lot of work to do. Therefore, the MPs cannot seek to thank the Ghanaian voter who gave them the mandate with a homophobic legislation. The Parliament has a lot of work to do. It has a lot of things that it must do to perform its legislative function better, to perform its representative functions better, and to especially credibly and diligently oversight the executive. So when I see and when I heard that they have come up, or some members of the Ghanaian legislature have come up with this draft legislation, the question in my mind was, have they decided that promoting homophobic legislation is the best way for them to thank the Ghanaian voter, the Ghanaian taxpayer, and the Ghanaian public at large? Well, Jim Abuedi indicated that the MP should not forget that the Ghanaian taxpayer has indulged them to award, well, it's a grammatical slip there, heavily subsidized $100 per head card. So all that this man is saying is that the Parliament is supposed to be doing better things rather than this. We've all said it time and again. Parliament has a lot of work to do. The government has a lot of work to do. But when it comes to these homosexual issues, it's overemphasized. We've said it time and again. Hey, people need water to drink. If you don't, you have to drink water first before you decide whether you are homosexual or not. The water is not there. You have to go to school and learn before you even reach the age where you want to decide whether you are gay or lesbian. The schools are not there. So it's a misplaced priority. I say it time and again. But that does not mean that it is not important to deal. I wish Prof would say which part of the bill he thinks is homophobic. Spell out that, rather than throwing your corn so wide. Let's get to know, oh, this part of the bill is homophobic. This part of it is homophobic. Or, I don't agree, let homosexuality be legalized in this country. Then we will know where you are coming from. I'll leave it here. I won't go too much into it. My brother, my sister, so many different things have happened in this country. And until we open our eyes and our ears very, very wide, we might be making a lot of mistakes. And we might be running faster than our legs. Let us take our time to be able to accept new values that we want to accept, to be able to do away with the old values that we don't want. All these things will help us become a better people. Yes. I'm going to tackle the very last thing and I'll be out of here, my brother, my sister. And this one says, NCA approves license of Radio Gold, Radio XYZ. Okay. And you all know that Radio Gold was closed down because of license issues. XYZ closed down the same way, and some other stations around. My brother, my sister, and they said that it was because of licensing, even though some people read political undertones into that. I read. The National Communication Authority, NCA, has approved the licenses of Radio Gold and Radio XYZ for operation. These stations form part of the 131 others who have been authorized to operate, subject to some conditions spelled out by the NCA board. 131 closed down. This was the outcome of the authority's governing board meeting held on October 11, that's yesterday, 2021. In a statement, the authority indicated that the beneficiaries include new applications from entities whose FM radio stations were closed down after the 2017 FM audit, as well as existing stations which applied for renewal of their expired FM radio broadcasting authorizations. In May 2019, the NCA shut down Radio Gold 90.5 FM and Radio XYZ 93.1 FM based in Accra. Officials of the NCA stormed the station's premises with armed security personnel while they were on air and ordered their immediate closure. They were then handed letters detailing the reasons behind the order, whilst asking them to reapply for a license if they wished to operate as frequency modulation radio stations. 2 years down the line, the authority says it is ready to grant them broadcasting authorization, subject to the applicants attending a sensitization workshop on the terms and conditions of FM radio broadcasting authorities. Long and short of it all, XYZ is coming back. Radio Gold is coming back. These were government, pro-government stations, NDC stations that spoke a lot of things for the NDC and a lot of things against the NDC, MPP. Today they are coming back. I am only happy that democracy would be deepened more. I am only glad that the law has taken its course, and we are going to see these vibrant radio stations bounce back again. Same way, my brother, my sister, I hope that these radio stations that are coming back will not lose the fire, because sometimes when you punish a man and he returns, he becomes very shaky. I hope that they will return with more fire so that they will be able to deal seriously with the issues, because the issues have increased. Murders all over in the Volta region. People are being killed and used for juju. Today there are a lot of them I don't even want to read. Murder. A woman murders her husband and decapitates him. In other words, cuts off his head. For what? People are killing people in order to sell to fetish priests. They can have body parts and make money. When a country descends this low, my brother, my sister, homosexuality becomes too little to deal with. When the people in a country still believe that killing another man and cutting off his head can make them rich instead of working hard, then we have a problem. When the country still believes that there is a way to riches except hard work, we have a problem. People are running to churches to collect holy water, buy holy water and holy oils. They shelve hard work. They sit day and night smearing this on their faces, drinking some, that somebody who has worked hard for his money would come and give them free money so that they will be rich because of some pastor's holy water. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? What happened to hard work? People are killing people and using their body parts, my brother, my sister, to make money. Even little children kill each other to sell their body parts to malams and juju men and women. This way, how can the country grow? We have a basic problem. Basic problems are tackled from the grassroots. You cannot have a problem with education, have a problem with water, have a problem with the minds of the people in terms of ritual killing and all those things. You leave all these things and you go jumping to fight homosexuality. My brother, my sister, it's like 4 houses are burning at the same rate. Then you leave the first house and go to the last house to go and put it off. Salvage the first house. You know that this is salvaged. You move to the next house. Before you move to that point, my brother, my sister, the fire would have escalated. True or false? Or you have 4 people who are sick, equally sick, and they are dying. You leave the first one, leave the second one, walk about 1 mile to the last one, and you are treating the last one. That's what is happening in this country. We are not dealing with the basic problems, the minds of the people. Our people still believe that they can sleep 24/7. By drinking some pastor's water, they can be rich. Our people still believe that there's nothing like HIV/AIDS. As long as they have sex with virgins, they are okay. No HIV can catch them. Our people still believe that malaria is not caused by a mosquito. It is caused by the gauze. Our people still believe that rains are brought by the gods. So when there's no rain, they run to the gauze. Yet they fell trees night and day to cook pito. They fell trees night and day to cook tuozafi. They fell trees night and day to build boats. And they don't replace them. When the rains don't fall, they are running to the gods, that the gods have cursed them. Are these a people? We need to deal with the attitudes of the people, the minds. I'm still waiting for that leader, that president, who will come and say, hey, you know what? We are going to vigorously and radically deal with the minds of the people. Send messages on TV, radio. The gods do not cause rain. The gods cannot help you when you fell trees and the rain doesn't fall and you go chanting for rain. I watched a certain video in Kumasi that a certain man was dancing around to stop the rain from falling because they wanted to celebrate their nonsense. So rain should stop falling. They brought a barefooted man jumping around and doing foolishness. I thought the rain was going to stop within 1 second. He danced for over 2 hours. The rain was still pouring. And when the rain was satisfied and it cut, they were clapping for him that he had stopped the rain. Hey, it takes 2 hours to stop rain? Are you crazy? You dance in a rain for 2 hours. And then the rain decides to calm down because it has rained enough. 2 hours of rain. Then you are clapping for the idiot that he stopped rain. They do not bring good things. They only bring bad things. They know how to stop rain. They don't know how to bring rain. They know how to kill people. They don't know how to resurrect the dead. They know how to make people sick. They don't know how to cure people. The minds of the people. Let's deal with that, brethren. And the way Nana Addo and his people are behaving, our nation will move forward. They are not glorifying our heroes. They rather dampen our heroes. You think if I wanted to be the next Kwame Nkrumah in Nana Addo's regime, I would be? No. So that my face will be taken out of the 2 Ghana cedi note? That they would rather call me a dictator, an authoritarian, that they would call me a man who rather destroyed Ghana with industrialization? How many people would want to be Kwame Nkrumah under Nana Addo? Yet they are stealing Nkrumah's policies and ideas left, right, and center without giving proper accolades. This is a plagiarizing government. From the speeches that they stole and plagiarized, they steal from Kwame Nkrumah and they will never give him any credit. I thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you. It's been the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo. I love you.
Boy, up in mighty race, stand and take.